Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever in the world you are. Welcome to today's webinar, Delivering Sustainability and Inspiration for 2023, PATA Gold Awards 2022 winner interviews. For today, I will be your host. I'm Alethea, the Head of Member Engagement at PATA. Yes, that's me. So for today's webinar, it is for everyone with the intention to participate in PATA Gold Awards this year. And it's also for anyone who needs inspiration and guidance for your future sustainability plans. We will be highlighting 2 sustainability winners who have led the way with the mission to keep us on track for the responsible development of the travel and tourism industry. Today, we'll be proudly featuring the PATA Grand Award winner 2022 for the Sustainability and Social Responsibility category, Win Sustainability Initiatives by Win Macau. And we will also be proudly featuring the PATA Gold Award winner 2022 for the Tourism Destination Resilience Global category, Marianas Tourism Resumption Investment Plan by Marianas Visitors Authority. So we will be hearing from these 2 PATA Gold Award winners who will do 1 presentation each, followed by an interview. The audience is welcomed to answer any questions via the Q&A function on Zoom down below on your screen. So please do not use the chat function to ask questions as they might get lost. The chat function is there for you to introduce yourself, add comments if you have any, and participate in discussions during the webinar. As everyone kind of trickles in, I'm really glad to see some familiar names in the audience. So shout out, hello Jennifer and hello Zaidi. It's really good to see you guys. And welcome everyone to today's webinar. So without further ado, we're going to welcome our first presenter on stage. Ruby Oh is the Executive Director of Sustainability and Environmental, Social and Governance at Win Macau and Win Palace for Win Macau Limited. So Ruby is here with us today, but Ruby and Randy, who is the CEO of GSTC, recorded their presentation and interview for us due to time zone differences. So feel free to ask Ruby any questions in the Q&A function on Zoom, and we will get to them today. I'm really excited for you to hear about Win Macau's award-winning and industry-leading sustainability initiatives. So without further ado, let's start the recording. Okay, so now we have moved to the first presentation by our PATA Gold Award winner in 2022. Ruby Oh is representing Win Macau, and she will be doing her presentation today to take us through their project and their initiative that won the PATA Gold Award Grand Award winner 2022 prize. So Ruby, take it away.
Sure, let me share my screen.
Yep, it's good to go.
Okay, great. So thank you, PATA, for giving us the Gold Award. And we are happy to be here to share some of our pioneer sustainability initiative in the past with the industry peers. So my name is Ruby. Let's get started. So before I begin, I would like to introduce the Gold Leaf program. This is our company global sustainability program. As you can see, there is 4 different approaches and mechanism how we drive our sustainability initiative and how we plan and strategize our initiative throughout and in the local context. So here are some of the examples where we implement various programs and initiatives. And here is another snapshot just to get people aware and familiarize some of the awards that we have locally, regionally, and internationally related to sustainability in the hospitality and tourism industry. So today I would like to take one of our really key initiative, and I would say a pioneer approach by using the life cycle thinking to plan our sustainable food initiative. So you see various initiative in the green circle on the screen. So today, due to the time constraint, I will focus a few of the initiative where we set our feet and here onward with our pioneer project. So of course, food's life cycle, it has to be start with food. So what we mean by good food and sustainable food, we take different approaches. And with Macau, a lot of food we flow overseas. So how we select food, how we plan our menu, it gives us a lot of challenge and also opportunity where we can from the upstream onward to make it more sustainable for our customer as well as the community. So here is the snapshot, some of the things that we really proud of ourselves since 2019 to last year. Some of the campaign, for example, we did a month-long celebration of sustainable seafood in all of our signature restaurant and even our staff dining to leverage the World Ocean Day as well as Sustainable Gastronomy Day. So again, MSC certified seafood, good food, kind food, vegetarian menu, and how we reduce some of the meat consumption in various approach in a snapshot here. Another really benchmarking approach and initiative that we have for green is really the NORDC bottling plan as well as the Reno Vision System. So I mean, single-use plastic bottled water has been issue, and how do we cater the day-to-day operation as well as maintain our leisure and luxury guest experience is definitely is an area that we have spent time and how we come up with a new solution that address various concerns. So NORDC 2000 is basically an automated water filling system that we in place in Wind Palace. So it allows us to do the automated bottling filling as well as washing, cleaning with all the reusable gas bottle made freshly in-house in our property to cater our day-to-day needs. So with this project, we're able to reduce not just plastic waste, as well as setting really a new benchmark that how sustainable solution can also serve in a luxury hotel. So here is how we describe our project in a circular economy concept. Again, the glass bottle itself is made up of 40% upcycle glasses, and we reduce plastic waste as well as in between all the logistic carbon footprint throughout the journey to Macau. The other pioneer project is the Reno system that we in place in 2019. So what it does is an AI system, machine learning, that help us to track avoidable food waste throughout our operation, give us like some data insight so that we can work smartly and use our natural resources wisely. So here's some snapshot of what this machine does and how the picture and also data help us to plan ourselves in a real time and quick fix on anything that we see throughout the the trend or operation and changes, especially during the COVID time. There are a lot of uncertainty and occupancy changes. So this helps us to plan out ahead and reduce unnecessary waste. So some significant saving we see throughout last year from in terms of like food reduction to meal saving, and in terms of carbon emission reduction. And if we would like compare it to plastic bottle reduction, it's almost like 75 billion plastic bottle reduced. Since this is such a powerful tool and we don't want to limit it within our property or our company only, so we leverage and privilege the impact with our local representative and also school and institute. And one of them is IFT and the other is USJ. So we sponsor the unit in the school so that the student can also participate in the day-to-day practice, how they can cherish food and utilize the data and picture they capture, and how to develop really a responsible consumption and production model for the hospitality and tourism that we want to deliver. Last but not least, is really about the data that we collect and empower us to create further changes and impact, which include the food donation and food upcycling initiative in Macau. So there could never be a zero food waste, no matter how hard we try, because that's the nature of the operation. And with those that doesn't matter cosmetic appearance, their food, we base on the data that we capture and study, so that it allow us to plan strategically with our local partners and especially social enterprise, so that they can anticipate what they're expecting, how's the frequency, so that we joint planned it to make this happen. I mean, delivering perishable food and like healthy, safe food, for example, in this slide, where we partner with the local social enterprise and create and improve their health. They make juice, they make Chinese dessert, and we even use food safety to empower the perishable into more shelf-stable and safe produce together. And we provide food safety lab testing support to ensure all these shelf-stable dry goods can be served to the community. And in return, this becomes the financial engine for the social enterprise for them to continue sustain and support other community members and stakeholders. So with this program, we are very proud to create various social values and impact that we got the recognition from China, one of the typical case study award. So in summarize, we are also applying our approach with this food recovery hierarchy that maybe some of the industry peers have seen it before. So our approaches all fall into the preferable segment. That means it is more impactful and powerful to reduce from the source. That's how I mentioned avoidable ways that we can trigger or put more effort at the very beginning upstream to reduce unnecessary waste throughout the operation and from our guest table. So I hope our peer found it insightful or reference for a lot of approaches that we have done throughout this sustainable journey. And this is just some of the snapshot that we think is really worthwhile and applicable for Macau community, and how as a hospitality key player, we can join hand to drive a greener city and more sustainable tourism together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruby, for that amazing presentation and on your sustainability initiatives. I think it's very clear why you were the PATA Grand Award winner 2022 for sustainability and social responsibility category. Those results are really amazing, and what you have done as an organization for the environment and for the community is really commendable. Thank you so much. So now please, Ruby, stay with us because I'm going to invite Randy Dubon, the CEO of GSTC, to come online. So Randy, please turn on your camera and unmute yourself. Randy was our PATA Gold Award judge in 2022, and he's very kindly agreed to conduct the interview for Ruby to just let us catch up with them on how the initiative has progressed since 2022. And so I will stop talking now and let Randy take it away with Ruby.
Great, thank you, Alethea. Ruby, what a phenomenal job you've all done at Wynn Macau. It's so impressive. So thank you for your good work. I want to start by asking, when did Wynn's sustainability journey really begin, and what were the main motivating factors to get your business moving forward in such a robust way?
Sure. Our approach of sustainability is built on a core principle like care for our guests and our planet. This means providing award-winning service at our resort worldwide in a manner that respects community, people, and our environment. So it is from year 2019 onward with the establishment of our sustainability department, which oversees the day-to-day management and implementation of our socially and environmentally focused program and initiative. So with the establishment of the department, we have seen an increased recognition of importance of sustainability among our team members. And there are more formal strategy development that balance with ESG challenge and opportunity on the sustainability journey.
Excellent, good for you. You know, it's so frustrating to me and many of us that we still see so many single-use plastic water bottles everywhere, including in hotels. And so it's impressive to see what you've done in your property with the Nordac system to remove those and to use refillable glass bottles. So the question, of course, then probably on many minds is how big of an effort, how big of an expense is that? What's really holding back from others? Is it kind of the initial capital expense? Because I imagine you're saving money in the long term as well. Could you comment on effort, expense, and how manageable is it for others, including smaller hotels, to adopt such a system?
So I think the objective is that we really believe in the long-term benefit of sustainable alternative, which can also provide a luxury guest experience. So by offering high-quality water prepared freshly in the property, we can enhance like dining experience and prioritize the health of our guests. Of course, ensuring the smooth operations and overcome challenges like the health and safety of our product require really tremendous commitment from our management and team efforts from various departments, including like housekeeping, F&B, logistic team, food safety, and of course, maintenance. So while there may be a significant initial cost to implement an automated bottling plan, I mean the expenses ultimately really depends on whether we take consideration of the cost of plastic pollutions, the natural resources, the carbon footprint throughout the supply chain and logistic of plastic bottled water. And again, there's a cost of inaction as well. So it's about how we balance out and take what is matter.
Good, thank you. And your sustainability issues at Win Macau are really holistic. You're looking at a lot of things, the plastics that we just talked about, food waste, energy, and so forth, outreach programs to community, MSC labeled seafood, all sorts of good things. And you're using technology. Can you help us, other hotels talk about data collection and measurement is a big challenge. With all those different things you're working on, can you talk a bit about how you manage the data and the relationship of data management to sustainability?
Sure. I think the relationship between tech, data, and sustainability is crucial. They are interdependent and can enhance each other's effectiveness. Technology plays a vital role in acquiring accurate and reliable data, which can be challenging. So that's why WIN has implemented the AI-powered window system to facilitate food waste reduction practice throughout its operation. We can use quality data to identify areas for improvement and develop strategy as showed our food donation program and upcycling program. This is all because of quality data that empower us. And data-driven decision-making not only enable us to plan effectively and allocate resources wisely and for positive impact, and also sustainable performance improvement. And I think more powerful is that data also help us communicate our sustainability effort and create a culture of transparency and accountability. So the relationship between tech, data, and sustainability is really critical in driving positive environmental and social impact in today's world.
Great. And speaking of accountability, I see that you have quite a number of third-party certifications, and we at GSTC very much believe in that, and we're involved in that work, that we believe strongly in having somebody from the outside, an impartial third-party entity, and to expose yourself to that. The question I have on that is, how useful is that process of getting those third-party certifications in driving you to improvement? Is it just kind of getting the badge, or does it actually influence your team in improving during the process of seeking and gaining certification?
I think like any third-party certification, it is the spirit of continuous improvement. It not only reveals the strength, as well as where we should address and focus on where we can further improve. And certification help to improve the quality, safety, and credibility of product and service, while it also provide assurance to our consumer. Last but not least, I strongly believe this is even a very formal way to recognize our team effort from professionals in the field.
Great. So after all these wonderful things you've been doing, anything new you can report? What are kind of new projects on the horizon, and what is your ultimate goal as a hotel in terms of your sustainability journey?
Our company, WIN, has made firm commitment to achieve net zero carbon emission by 2015 and ensuring our carbon dioxide emission peak by 2030. So with our ability to invest sustainable solutions that continue to raise the bar for industry standard and support our culture of sustainability, we will continue to create cross-cutting impacts and opportunities that drive action to capacity building initiative with our stakeholders, such as the government, school, and the local community together. We serve as catalysts to improve border change and co-create a modern green city and sustainable future for tourism. So I think we believe the rising tide weighs all boats. So everybody have a role to play.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All well done. Pleasure talking to you.
Okay, so thank you very much to Ruby and to Randy for that presentation and interview. Now, I do see a couple of questions that have come into the Q&A for Ruby. So we will get to that after our second presentation and interview with our next speaker. So everybody, if you do have any questions, please do drop them into the Q&A function for both Ruby and for Judy later. We will get to them soon. So now I want to welcome onto stage Judy Torres, the acting managing director of the Marianas Visitors Authority, which is the state tourism office of the U.S. Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands in the Western Pacific. So Judy, please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and join us on our virtual stage. Hi, Judy.
Hi, half a day, everyone.
So Judy, I'm going to hand it over to you. Feel free to share your screen and your presentation.
I know we practiced this. That was F5, right?
Yes, hit F5.
Oh. Here we go.
Perfect. We can see it. So take it away.
Thank you. Hafare, Tirawami, and greetings from the Marianas. Thank you for the opportunity to share today's presentation about our Tourism Resumption Investment Plan, or what we call TRIP, which was implemented in the midst of COVID in mid-2021. We are really humbled by the Plata Gold recognition, and we hope our short presentation today can provide some inspiration and perhaps ideas for our collective continued recovery. A bit about the Marianas. We are a small multi-island destination in the Western Pacific, formerly the U.S. Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, with a population of 54,000, mostly on the capital island of Saipan. Our two main other islands are Tinian and Rota. Our annual visitor arrivals the year before COVID was about 425,000, mostly from Korea and China, with Japan re-emerging as a source market. We had 44 flights a week from Korea, 24 flights from China, and 7 flights a week from Narita. At the time we initiated TRIP, all of this flight had been lost for over a year. Total visitor arrivals had plummeted 99%. TRIP was undertaken with 2 priorities. First, to ensure public safety, while second, to provide economic survival for our people. Tourism is the primary and pretty much the only industry driving our economy. So in early 2021, we asked ourselves, is rebooting tourism in the midst of COVID even possible? And if so, is it even wise? Through many meetings led by the Office of the Governor and our office, with healthcare and industry stakeholders, it was determined that not only was it such a bold plan possible, it was going to be absolutely essential for the livelihood of our people. The mechanism for TRIP hinged on 2 pieces. 1, negotiating a travel bubble with South Korea, and 2, providing a variety of incentives and programs to jumpstart travel and tourism business, who had closed, and provide incentive to convince a cautious but travel-hungry Korean public that the Marianas is the best choice for a safe and affordable destination. TRIP was really a strategic, dynamic partnership among all public and private sectors, from our individual community members all the way to the South Korea government. And at the heart of this partnership was the Marianas Visitors Authority, serving as the control point for coordination and communication to ensure this innovative, ever-changing plan was moving forward, and perhaps most importantly, to ensure problems were resolved quickly to keep that forward momentum. I am sure that many of you experienced this during the pandemic, whether your local safety protocols changed quickly or those in your source markets with new requirements and restrictions. We kept our hand on the pulse of everything through our offices here in the Marianas and our representative office in Korea. In this sense, being a smaller community worked to our advantage. For example, the chairman of the COVID task force is also a member of our board, so coordination was nearly instantaneous. Because of our close-knit community and geographic isolation, public consensus of vaccination and other safety protocols was very strong. Coupled with strong borders controls against COVID, this kept our infection rate very low in the beginning. Armed with this, our local government successfully convinced the South Korean government that we could keep the spread of COVID low among their citizens and ours. When they inspected our plan, they agreed, and the first hurdle was overcome. On the second part of the plan, the incentives and program implemented with our tourism partners. This include, first, an airline pilot program providing a load factor guarantee financial incentive to get an initial 3 airlines flying once a week from Seoul to the Marianas. As certain load factors were reached, the incentives would be decreased. Second, travel box in the amount of $200 to $500 per visitor for each of the 3 main islands. This could be used at the hotels, restaurants, optional tours, and many more. Next, an incentive for participating travel agents beginning at $100 per pack for each booking. Next, coverage for 2 quarantine hotels where visitors could enjoy their mandatory 5 quarantine upon entry at a beachside resort. Upon negative testing on the 5th day, they could travel freely in public with a tour guide. For further safety, local businesses were required to meet safety travel protocols to make sure, again, that our community and our visitors remain safe. Also, Korea required a negative PCR test prior to return to Korea. We covered this test. And lastly, our travel protection plan covered the cost of any hospitalization or quarantine if a visitor tested positive anytime during their stay. We only had a few cases of this, as visitor also had to test negative prior to boarding the plane to get to the Marianas. This was possible with funding from the American Recovery Program Plan Act of the United States government for this program. So here you can see the gradual reduction of incentive over time as demand started to naturally increase. We initially committed to this program with Korea and our partners for 6 months. Part of it were extended beyond that period, and others, like airline incentive, were phased out early. To summarize the success of this program, first and foremost, we kept our community safe and we kept our visitors safe. Not everyone in the community wanted tourists back because they were afraid. We faced opposition, but the leadership was confident in the protocols in place, and we forged forward, starting slowly, then gaining momentum as both residents and visitors saw the benefits of the program. From an economic standpoint, the Marianas restarted international flights and reopened one of our primary source market at the peak of COVID. And this program continued uninterrupted since its inception due to the rapid response we were able to maintain. One of the biggest success of TRIP was the unprecedented and pretty much unmeasurable amount of free exposure the Marianas received in not only Korea, but around the world. The Marianas had never been talked about so much in Korea by the media. We could never bought that level of exposure, and it continues to reap benefits for us. An unexpected result was that not only did we bring back the existing carriers we had before COVID, but since the Marianas and Singapore had only approved travel bubbles with South Korea, we also attracted new airlines who had never served our destination before. In terms of immediate and tangible benefits, our community could see we had significant increase in the amount of visits and spending in the two less populated islands, Tinian and Rota. An unprecedented 50% of visitors went to all three islands, especially where flights was only once a week and they had extra time to explore. In addition, Travel Box was infused into suffering local business on all three islands. Undertaking the trip was definitely the right decision for us, and we can continue to build on this. But to be honest, it is not all bed of roses. At this point, we have only recovered about 70% of air seats from South Korea. We implemented similar trip incentive in Japan last September to be exact, and that market is making steady but very slow recovery. We do not have any direct flights from China. Overall, visitor arrivals this fiscal year is only about 45% of what it was prior to COVID. So yes, we continue to face uphill battle. The good news is even small destinations like the Marianas can see success with a clear vision, a solid plan, and strong partnership. Thank you again for the opportunity to share, and we wish all of you best in your recovery as well. Sizu'us ma'asi, olamwai, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy, for that excellent presentation. I think it's so amazing how you used your destination's uniqueness to really devise this entire plan. That was absolutely brilliant, as well as the marketing that you talked about that Marianas received in this period of time. That was also such an amazing outcome to see as well. So congratulations on that. It's definitely very evident why you won the Pata Gold Award for the category of Tourism Destination Resilience Global. That was genuinely an amazing presentation. Thank you so much for that. So now I want to welcome onto stage Bhavnesh Kumar, who is our Sustainability and Social Responsibility Program Head here at PATA. Bhavnesh, welcome. Bhavnesh will be doing the interview together with Judy to just kind of catch up and go into more detail on the presentation. So Bhavnesh, please take it away. Oh, if anyone has any questions for Judy and about their trip initiative, please do drop it in the Q&A box below, and Bhavnesh will get to it as well. Bhavnesh, your turn.
Thanks, Alethea, and thanks, Judy, for that wonderful presentation. I think this is clearly one-of-a-kind story that is real and based on resilience initiatives, right? Not a lot of examples exist, because when we were looking at these numbers, I mean, you guys did a phenomenal job of not only surviving, but building when everyone in the world was too afraid to even think to open their borders. So I would give a huge round of applause to you on that behalf. Wonderful, wonderful efforts. So due to the time constraint, I have a lot of questions, but I will just ask you two, and I'll keep it short and simple, and they will be in two phases. The first question will be about what you did during the pandemic era, And the second one is about what you plan to do next, right? So the first question to you is, you mentioned a lot of factors that enable the Marianas to successfully restart tourism during the pandemic, right? But which ones you believe are of relevance even post-pandemic?
I mentioned this term a lot in my presentation, and that's partnership. Partnership with not only our stakeholders, but also our government, the public sector, and our community. So that was pretty much the main force that made this investment plan a success. Also, community support of the new travel trend, such as the safety protocols that we need to implement to keep not only our visitors, but also our community safe. So we need to make sure that we always have that communications opened with the public and the private sector. And then again, the personal touch where we traveled to South Korea and visited and met with the South Korean government as well as our stakeholders and presented them a plan. So that showed the commitment that it's going to be a win-win situation, a win-win for both the Marianas and South Korea.
That's really wonderful response, because I was thinking about few things when you were doing the presentation, and one of them was, I was astonished to see that the resident population to tourist ratio is tenfold, right? And
Yes.
that's not something which is very common. That's a tremendous amount of people just flying in, and that's the floating population, right? And to convince other governments that your destination is not just safe, but well taken care of, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's the RT-PCR test or providing medication facilities, hospitals, and the key part, like you mentioned, communication. I can imagine it must have been a really tough job.
It was, we needed to be very flexible in terms of the changes that were taking place. For example, we didn't know that Omicron was gonna take place. So, and then South Korea implemented strict guidelines, but because of our communication and our partnership and the assurance that safety protocols will continue to be placed, we were exempted from the for Koreans to be quarantined upon arrival back home. So, communications and partnership, as well as that assurance that we will continue to make sure that everybody is successful at the end.
Perfect. That explains not just the popularity of destination, but also the results of the destination.
Yes.
So which brings us to the second question. And as we know that pandemic is almost over, and we would very much hope things to go back to pre-pandemic level when we talk about tourist arrivals. And there are a lot of destinations, right? And they have suffered the same like the rest of the world. So do you have any suggestion or any factors that you could contribute or suggest that can be replicated and become a part of this success story post-pandemic?
The pandemic has taught us so many things in terms of tourism recovery, tourism resilience. So we need to be very innovative and flexible in terms of to respond to market changes. And then we also need to make sure that we get the buy-in of our stakeholders, both in the public and the private sectors and the community. So those are factors that I believe that will continue to be part of the recovery from this pandemic, as well as any other issues.
Perfect. Those are my questions for now, but we do have a few questions from the audience, and I would like to take up one question from the audience. It's from Romeo, and his question is, he would like to know what were the immediate actions or steps that Marianas took immediately, at the start of the pandemic, because definitely you guys were thinking way ahead, right? and anticipating, and that's what helped you to be well prepared and make up actions to be more successful. So what were those immediate actions or steps that were taken?
Making sure that safety and health protocols were in line. Again, that's to ensure the safetiness of our community and visitors. Communications with our stakeholders, not only in the destination, but as well as overseas, to make sure that the Marianas is on the, out of sight, out of mind. So just ongoing communications with our partners to make sure that the Marianas remains on their top of the mind as a destination of choice.
When you say it like that, it sounds so simple, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't take any effort. Just think about communication, make sure that your tourists are very comfortable, they feel at home. You need to be open and you need to be flexible. But we can all imagine it must have been a really, really difficult job.
It was, and one thing too, when we started the early discussion of this program is we want to make sure it's sustainable. We want to make sure that if we do this, we do it right, and we continue to do it. So, I'm happy to report that once we open up the Korea market, we're still open to the Korean markets.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Judy, for your time, presentation, and answering questions, both from me and from the audience. Over to you, Elle.
So a huge thank you to Judy and Bhavnesh for that interview, and a huge thank you to all our Pot of Gold Award winners who make the Pot of Gold Awards an amazing industry award program. So now I do want to thank everyone who has joined us for this webinar today. Thank you, Ruby. Ruby, I see that you're back on screen. And I do see that you have answered some of our questions in the Q&A that were directed to you. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think once again, really great opportunity for us to share the program in more dimension. And I mean, we have been really inspired with the exchange platform, with the technology. We all suffer from the pandemic and sort of disconnect a little bit, but with Pata and all this technology, keeping us continue growth. And based on the question, I see everybody can learn from each other, and many people are sharing great idea about how to further reduce food waste and plastic waste, which is two of the key area for tourism indeed. So it's all about collective wisdom and how we raise the bar of tourism and making it more pleasant and transforming into a higher quality that meet today's consumer and the world. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We do have one more question for Ruby, who has popped up from the audience. So let's address that now. What are the biggest challenges that Wynn Macau had when implementing the sustainability standard?
I think it's not just us. I think in general, when you have to balance the challenge in especially during the economic downside, and at the same time you see the new generation and various products and luxury segment are all putting their feet, and with technology, how we can apply circular thinking to utilize the so-called waste that we previously defined by human, but in fact, those are great resources as a like more material than can turn into new nice quality product as well. So I think the challenge is about the awareness and common language of understanding the waste that again is really defined by human, because in nature there's no waste as we well aware. So I would say the challenge is about continue both our vocabulary and at the same time solidify the concept and stand firm with the principle and fundamental, because there always be up and down and disagreement with things because people care. That's why they will voice out and they want to make it better, and they feel frustrated that things should go faster or why still like this. So I think the challenge is like it's very common even in various industry. So that's why as an industry core player, we need to care the comment and the changes and how we meet the expectation of our various stakeholder. At the same time, continue our core principle by respecting people, community, and environment. So I think that's how we can see the opportunity and overcome challenges, and encouraging each other like platform like this. I think it gives us a boost and suggest an award that endorse our path and continue on our journey.
Thank you so much for that reply. I really like what you said about learning how to speak to each other, the language that we use. And that's certainly a position of care for the community and the environment that a leader in sustainability would be taking. So thank you so much, Ruby. So we've come to the section of our webinar where we will be talking about Pata Go Awards 2023. So I'm sure this is what everybody has been waiting for every industry stakeholder and player that is interested in the Pata Go Awards. Let me tell you a little bit about our award initiative and program. So the Pata Go Awards has been running since 1984, and it recognizes exceptional achievement, as you can see from today, in a variety of endeavors, acknowledging and rewarding the very, very best in the Asia Pacific's travel industry. Since its inception in 1984, the Pata Grand and Pata Gold Awards winning projects have been setting industry standards for excellence and innovation, serving as examples for others to follow. So we want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsors of the Pata Gold Awards 2023, which is proudly supported by the Macau Government Tourism Office. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm very pleased to announce that the applications for the Pata Go Awards 2023 is now open. Ta-da! The submission deadline is May 31st this year. So please, everybody, scan the QR code, which will bring you to our website. This is where you can download the Pata Go Awards brochure, which contains the guidelines for submission. And this is also where you can register as an applicant for the Pata Go Awards 2023. So next slide, please. I just wanted to let everybody know that the winners of this year's Pata Go Award will be honored at an in-person award ceremony presentation at Pata Travel Mart 2023, which is happening in October 4th to 6th, New Delhi, India. So we hope to see all of you there. This brings me to my next topic. So our in-person events for this year are the Pata Annual Summit and Adventure Travel Mart, happening on May 30th till June 2nd in Pokhara, Nepal. So we do hope to see everyone there. I have a special announcement for everyone listening today. Our early bird 10% discount has been extended till April 15th. So please register today, take advantage of this early bird price, and we want to see you there at Pokhara, Nepal. The next event that we have is the Pata Destination Experience Forum and Mart 2023. This is happening June 21st till 23rd in Kuching, Sarawak, Malaysia. So this event is going to be all about marketing your destination in the most sustainable way possible. And you can scan the QR code to learn more about the event and register on our website. Last but not least, we have the Pata Travel Mart 2023 happening October 4th to 6th in New Delhi, India. So this event is really the leading event for anyone who has a tourism product and would like to market to the South Asia region and international community. So we really hope that you will join us either as an exhibitor, a buyer, or a conference trade visitor at Pata Travel Mart. So those are our in-person events for 2023. We hope to see you there. Next up, we have a couple of things lined up for you before we get to see each other in person. So we do have a Pata Youth webinar happening soon. This is going to happen Friday, March 31st, 2023. And it will be about spotlighting the various careers in the tourism industry for the youth to better understand that there are so many different things that you can do as part of the tourism industry as a young tourism professional. So we have different segments and verticals in the webinar being represented, from hospitality, aviation, sustainability, and as a development and consultancy vertical. So this is supported by the Pata Philippines LPU Manila Student Chapter, done in collaboration with Pata Youth, and we hope to see you there. We also have one more activity that is online. It is the Pata Member Meetup. This is an online networking session happening on April 11th on a Tuesday. We have this every month for our Pata members to gather together. And this is happening during APEX afternoon, Europe's morning, and Pacific's evening. So we really hope to see you there so that we can gather, mingle, and network with each other online. This particular session will be focused on Europe's inbound and outbound. We will have a representative from Euromonitor coming to share with us a quick presentation on any insights and statistics that they will share about Europe's outbound and inbound markets. So before we end this webinar, I just wanted to thank everybody once again, our members, our chapters, our Pata Gold Award winners, and everyone in the Pata international community for joining us for this webinar and making all of this possible for Pata. So I have been your host for this webinar. It's been a really enjoyable time. Thank you so much for coming. I am Alethea. That is my email address. You can email me or the member team email address if you have any questions, and we will get to you as soon as possible. Thank you. And that's it. Goodbye.